6 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Long Island Blues Warehouse. Mark Klein hanging out with you once a week on this stage, EKO Studios. You know what we like to do, bring you a live band to perform for you, the viewers at home, and us here in the studio as well. So we have a hot one tonight. We have a band on the stage this evening that did my show about 15, almost 16 years ago on another station. They've been performing at festivals and playing up and down the East Coast for a real long time now, I'd have to say, and you wouldn't know it by looking at them, these young-looking fellas. This week's featured artist, Lil Cliff and the CLIFFHANGERS.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Well, don't make me look away. Don't make me cast my eyes aside. Not to see what you can't hide. Yeah, from your loving ways, your loving ways. Don't make me look away. You the loving kind. You so hot and fine, hot and fine. Girl, you blow my mind, blow my mind. You the loving kind, yeah. Well, don't make me wanna know. Don't make me wanna have to learn just how my flesh could burn. Yeah, from your loving ways, your special ways. Don't make me look away. You the loving kind, loving kind. You so hot and fine, hot and fine. Yeah, you blow my mind, blow my mind. You the loving kind. Whoa, don't make me wanna feel. Don't make me wanna touch and love. Our body's hand in glove. Yeah, 'cause it's too damn real. It's so damn real. Don't make me wanna feel. You the loving kind, loving kind. You so hot and fine, hot and fine. Yeah, you blow my mind, blow my mind. You the loving kind. Yeah, you the loving kind, loving kind. You so hot and fine, hot and fine. Yeah, you blow my mind, blow my mind. You the loving kind. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, Lil Cliff and the CLIFFHANGERS.
Good to be here.
Cliff Bernard, vocals and harp. Good to see you, my man. How are you?
I'm doing fine. It's so nice to be out here, beginning of the summer here on Long Island.
That it is, my man, and you're looking sharp as usual.
Why, thank you.
I think your head's a little naked there. You could use maybe a hat to match Ricky over there.
My naked head.
Looking good, looking good. Cliff, I want to start with some history with you, if I can. We talked about, I can't believe it's been 15 years, the first time you did this show with us.
That's right.
The Blues Warehouse, about 15 years ago on another station. It slipped your mind. You almost forgot about that time.
You know, I'm starting to get a little dyslexic. I'm getting old.
It's happening. It happens to me too, my man. It happens to me too. What was the question again?
I don't know. Where are we?
Exactly. But it's good to see you again. Cliff, let's start with some history with you. Let's talk about when you began as a musician, playing the harp, singing. When did you begin? Did you start as a young guy?
I started out in junior high in the high school chorus, and I enjoyed. Probably my earliest exposure was Diana Ross and the Supremes and listening to Motown. My parents were big soul music fans, so I used to sit around and jump and dance in the living room when I was about 9 years old. We had one of those big old wooden Victrolas, you know, the wide high fidelity style. And I got hooked on singing. A couple of years later in high school, one of the guys that I was friends with was heavily into blues, turned me on to playing harmonica, showed me how to hold the harp, and hipped me to Little Walter and George Smith and a lot of the early guys, D. Ford Bailey and
Junior Wells,
Sonny Boy Williamson 1, and Rice Miller, who's Sonny Boy 2. You know, all the good harp blowers, and even the younger guys at the time, like in those days, Paul Butterfield was just coming up, Charlie Musselwhite was coming up. So I got into all that stuff and really had an affinity towards blues going back a long way.
You sure have, my man. You sure have. And you've come a long way in a short period of time with your abilities. And you're definitely a force to be reckoned with. You're definitely a unique talent on Long Island. Long Island is loaded with some massive talent. You guys are massive contributors to what Long Island has to offer in terms of live musicianship. And we love what you're all about, man. So
well, thank you.
That having been said, I say we put you boys back to work. We'll come back and chat more with you and some of these other fine players.
Here's one of our new songs off our upcoming album. It's going to be out probably by early July. This is a song that Ricky wrote called Ace, Don't Ace Me Out.
You good to go? Oh, yeah. Long Island Blues Warehouse. Little Cliff and the Cliffhangers.
1, 2.
Sunday morning, safe oasis. Well, I dreamed of eights and aces. I never need insurance. The flop won't lack endurance. That would be the hand to her embrace. Ace, don't ace me out. Well, I'm more than halfway broken. Ace, don't ace me out. Let it be a token of good luck. The last deal that we struck. Ace, don't ace me out. Well, I thought I held the winners in love was for beginners. You called me out for bluffing. My turn card gave me nothing. How could I fall so far off the base? Ace, don't ace me out. Well, I'm more than halfway broken. Ace, don't ace me out. Let it be a token of good luck. The last deal that was struck. Ace, don't ace me out. Well, I'm gonna steal the blinds tonight. Gonna go all in. I can leave the blind to light. Well, if I could only win. all in. I can lead the blind to light. Well, if I could only win. I'm holding on to deuces with a full house of excuses. With nothing left to give her, I'll gamble on the river. Now I'm just a sad and sorry case. Ace, don't ace me out. Ace me out. Well, I'm more than halfway broken. Ace, don't ace me out. Ace me out. Let it be a token of good luck. Good luck. The last deal that we struck. Ace, don't ace me out. Ace, don't ace me out. Ace, don't ace me out.
This is Ahmed Ali from WUSB.FM, and you're listening to the Long Island Blues Warehouse.
She really do dig your big brain. Your quick wit is a big hit with the lady you like to be loving. Kissing and a hugging. Well, you better make time, Mr. Einstein. Loosen that noose and get footloose. Yeah! Well, you need music, dancing in low lights, fast feet and a good beat to take flight. Well, don't wait till tomorrow, 'cause all time is borrowed. Get music, start dancing, and hold tight. She really do think you're too sweet. A nice fit, but no go-get with a lady you like to be holding. Rocking and rolling. Well, you better move fast, 'cause it won't last. If you bust out, there'll be no doubt. Yeah, you need music, dancing in low lights, fast feet and a good beat to take flight. Well, don't wait till tomorrow, 'cause all time is borrowed. Get music, start dancing, and hold tight. Think you're too tame. A nice man with no hot plans, but the lady wants more than a smarty. Missy likes to party. Well, don't be a cast off. Swing her ass off on the dance floor. You are in my heart. Yeah, you need music, dancing in
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, Lil Cliff and the CLIFFHANGERS. Nicely done, Cliff. Nicely done indeed. I'll tell you what, about a year ago, our head videographer here at EKO Studios sees you boys playing over in Fire Island, and he goes to me, Mark, you ever heard of this band, Lil Cliff and the something? I'm like, Lil Cliff and the CLIFFHANGERS? He goes, yeah, that's it. I go, no, never heard of them. And he goes, listen, you got to try and get these guys in here. And it's been a year we've been trying to get you guys in here with a lot of conflicts with schedules. We finally pulled it off. I'm glad to do it. 'Cause he wasn't here when you guys were last here. We just did audio 4 or 5 years ago, last time we had you boys in. He missed that show, catches you boys at Fire Island a few years later, and I'm rambling. You said I was going to do that, and you're right, Cliff.
But you know we love you.
And I appreciate that.
We do.
But I had to make the mention, though, because our head video guy became a big fan of you boys. And every couple of months, he'd be like, you got Lil Cliff coming in? You got Lil Cliff coming in? So I'm glad we finally did it. And
you know, Mark, we get that a lot.
I can't for the life of me understand why. Must be the suit. Must be the suit.
I don't know.
Either that or Ricky's hat. Cliff, 15 years ago, as I mentioned, for the first time you did our show on another station. How long has Lil Cliff and the CLIFFHANGERS been?
Well, I'm proud to say that Frank Patterson behind me on the drums and vocals, and Ricky Street here, the man from Queens, who writes most of our original music and does a lot of our arrangements and plays that lovely double bass, have been with me about 20 years. It's 19 and change.
19 and change.
Dennis Phelps, who's from Great River, New York, on the guitar and vocals, he joined us about probably 7+ years ago. We were lucky enough to start doing some recording at Dennis's studio. He's an engineer. He's a recording engineer. And I bumped into Dennis when I was working on the island with a Blues Brothers cover band.
Really?
And yeah, we were doing weddings and club dates, and we recorded a couple of songs. I think there was a Christmas tribute album that I had written a song for back then, and we recorded it at Dennis's place, and I met Dennis. And we had just put the band took about a 6-month hiatus, and we had just come back, and Dennis had caught us and said he was interested in playing and working with us, and we rehearsed a lot and work our stuff quite a bit over at his place. And,
good timing on that.
It's been a nice combo.
Good timing. Great dynamic he adds to the project.
He really does.
We're going to come back and chat with him shortly, but let's grab Ricky Street on bass for a second if we can.
Okay.
How you doing, Ricky Street?
I'm doing okay, babe.
It's good to see you again, my man.
Same here,
I told you before off camera, you look the same now as you did 15 years ago. I'm serious.
Is that a good thing?
You got that same baby face.
Baby face, okay.
And you're still jumping around. You got the energy of a 16-year-old. And you had a great dynamic to the bass. Let's talk about when you began musically.
Oh.
When did you start?
This is something my parents encouraged me and my sisters to do from the time we were very, very young and able
Walk
to talk.
in, basically?
Pretty much, and they'd be like, go, have family over, and they'd be like, go out, go sing for the family. And my sisters would, my sisters who are both older than me would. We'd be in the car, and they go, we've been singing together for a while, and the way you just sang wasn't very good. You're going to have to sing a lot better than that if you're going to sing with us. And I'd be like,
they kind of cracked that whip a little bit at an early age.
They sure did. I owe a lot of it to my folks and to my 2 sisters.
Now, because they pushed you at that young an age, were you encouraged to keep going strong, or did you want to like put it down and?
Oh no! Like I said, this is what our parents encouraged us to do. They said, "Go do it."
We get a lot of musicians on this stage that parents or uncles or older brothers push them to play, and they don't want to in the beginning, and then they thank them years later for having pushed them in that direction.
It was always in us. There wasn't.
You grew into the passion early.
It was sort of like what you did. This was in family holidays. Was like what's the saying? It was a busman's holiday. Because everybody's like either everybody was a comedian or they could sing or play an instrument at the holidays. So it's
you picked up a little of both in that.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Let's talk about what you were doing musically before Lil Cliff.
That's a really long time ago, man. And
share a few things with us.
Well, let's see. Actually, when I was just thinking about this the other day because. We played over at over in Riverhead just a few weeks ago for the what was that? That was the classic car night. And Bill Hafner, who used to play with a band called the Skells, came by with his wife and his daughter.
Okay.
And I was thinking about it, and I said, "Gee whiz, the first time I actually ever saw Cliff was singing with them." And I thought, I remember thinking back to myself, listening, because I was playing in a band with Frank, as a matter of fact, with another friend of ours, Jim Santo, in a band called Tang Sadang. And,
Tang Sa who?
Tang Sadang. And me, I saw, yeah, it was like that. You do.
3 times backwards.
But I saw Cliff, and I remember thinking to myself, gee, you know, not bad at all. And then the guy who was playing drums with that band, Jim Colford, called me up and said the bass player who was going to do it isn't going to do it, and are you available? And I said, sure, what the hell? And that was Lil Cliff and the Bungee Jumpers to begin with, and that was more of a rock blues kind of thing, and you know, and then that kind of went the way of most bands, and Cliff and I had at that point had sort of, you know, built a real good relationship musically with
Were you
each
guys
other.
into bungee jumping back then?
No.
How'd you get that?
No, it just seemed like, you know,
It seemed like a cool thing to throw in there.
Exactly right.
Something to do with Cliff.
Indeed.
I see.
Exactly.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. There were people that were scratching their heads right then, going, "Where'd they get the name?"
Sure.
I had to ask.
Sure.
I had to
good
ask.
plan. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome, the two of you that wanted to know. So you've been with Cliff since those days.
Since the very beginning, absolutely, 20 plus years.
You guys play great together,
Thank you.
but do you like each other?
Yes, I'd say
We
so.
have our moments.
As
Listen,
do most bands.
It's you know how I think about it is that this may sound a touch corny, but it is a brotherhood in very much. And the thing I think about this band, which is, and I'm not knocking anybody else out there or anything like that, for me, and this is a comment I got once. He says, gee, you guys, you really are a combo, aren't you? And that appeals to me because within the context of what we do, it isn't just one wood chopper out front. And not to say that these guys can't solo, because they certainly can. But what we do is concentrated on the songs, on the material, and the fact that we all sing and that it's tight harmony. That, in my mind, at least in my experience, when you actually ask other people to start singing, then it's like, then they really have to start concentrating on what's going on. And that just pulls them in, like, in a way that you just don't get otherwise. And I mean, maybe that's, you know, my family background, I suppose.
I was always taught it's like the force. Either you're born with it or not, and you two are definitely born with that force.
Well, thank you.
In all seriousness,
Thank
you
you.
guys definitely have that Lennon-McCartney thing going on.
Well,
in terms of chemistry and
Lennon
ability
McCartney,
to
I've heard,
harmonize off one another.
I was Ringo, man.
I thought it was Ralph and Ed.
And we've gotten that.
Tom and Jerry, however you want to see it. But it works. It works. Fred and Barney.
Lovely.
Well, speaking of working, I say we put you boys back to work, and we'll come back and chat more with some of these other fine players.
Is it okay if we jump it up?
What are we doing?
We're going to do an old song by George Harmonica Smith called Oop, Dupin, Dupin. It's a sad story about a poor girl who's deaf, dumb, and blind, but she really looks fine.
You good to go? Before the drummer counts it off, I'm going to look over here and say this. Once again on the Blues Warehouse, it's Lil Cliff and the Cliffhangers.
Well, I know a girl, they call her Mumbles Mum. She can't speak a word, but she's sure ain't dumb. She goes, oop, doop, doop, oop, doop, doop, doop. She goes, oop, doop, doop, Daddy, you are mine. Well, early in the morning, ready to leave, she said, come on, baby, kiss me, please. She says, oop, doop, doop, oop, doop, doop. She said, oop, doop, doop, Daddy, you are mine. Took my counter downtown. My home said, her baby, her home. She says, oop, doop, doop, oop, doop, doop. She says, oop, doop, doop, Daddy, you are mine. That's right. in the morning, crazy in my head, waiting for the girl in the upside my bed. Yeah, oop doop doop well. She said oop doop doop well. Yeah, oop doop doop and Daddy, you are mine. One more thing. Yeah, early in the morning, ready to leave. She said, come on, baby, kiss me, please. Zoop doop doop well. Oop doop doop well. Oop doop doop and Daddy, you are mine. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, Lil Cliff.
Thank you.
And the CLIFFHANGERS. Thank you very much. Let's grab Dennis Phelps on guitar, if I can, for a minute. How you doing, Dennis?
Very well.
The newcomer to the project.
Yeah, only 8 years in.
Hey,
seven or 8
you're
years.
still the new guy. Yeah, right. You're still the new guy on the block. It's good to see you, Dennis. I've seen you at many things over the years with these guys and other things that you've done in the past. Let's begin with the history with you. Let's remind Long Island what you're all about with your history. Let's talk about when you began musically. Did you start as a young guy yourself?
I caught the Beetle bug.
You caught the Beetle bug?
The Beetle bug.
Ed Sullivan?
Absolutely. I actually caught the second one. My parents actually told me to tune into it. I was pretty young at the time, but their records is what got me into music completely. And then from that, you grow from that,
Where'd you head into from there? More British invasion stuff type of thing?
Yeah, the big three, the Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, definitely that, because that was what was popular in high school.
Back
and
in
that was
those
what we
days.
wanted to play, Led Zeppelin and all that stuff.
And were you?
Yeah, oh, sure. I was playing it. And the Jeff Beck Blow by Blow album got me into the fusion side of jazz and enjoyed that for a while with Return to Forever and that kind of music. It was just fantastic. And that's
Let's
mainly
talk.
that.
Let's talk about early and mid 20s out of high school. What were you doing in your 20s?
Right out of high school, I started gigging with a band called Livestream, just doing cover tunes. We played the tri-state area a lot. Playing music, so we started to get into some progressive music, which I liked very much. Yes, Genesis, Kansas, that type of thing.
Very cool. Very cool. How'd you get involved in Cliff and the Boys?
Yeah,
Some 8 years back.
I also caught the recording studio bug at a young age and started with an 8-track studio, then a 16-track, then a 24-track, and got a lot of equipment. And anyway, I had a studio in East Islip, and the Hackensack Men and Trenton Horns came in to record at my place. Cliff was a member at the time. And he's just the sound of his harp. I'd never heard anything like that. Call me innocent. I probably was innocent, but I'd never heard anything like it, and it really intrigued me. And I heard him talking to one of the other guys saying he needs a guitar player. And so it all came out of that.
Good timing on that, as we mentioned earlier.
But I tell you, once I started playing with these guys, I felt like a total beginner. I didn't know what I was doing because I'd played blues rock, but this is not a blues rock band at all.
Definitely not.
That was the only kind of blues I was familiar with at the time. These guys have turned me on to so much fantastic blues, swing blues and jump blues and all this different aspects of the blues. I had no idea it was such a vast musical field.
Did you enjoy what Cliff and these guys were about when you first got on board 8 years ago?
Absolutely, yeah. But it took me a while to gain confidence because I felt like I said, I felt like a beginner, and I'm glad these guys were patient enough with me to give me the time to develop and start to learn that guitar style. So even though I'd been playing 20 years at that point, it still was, like I said, it was very new to me.
That beginner feeling you had back then, at this point in time, I'm guessing past?
Yeah, it's past a bit, but I still would like to learn more than I have time to, but there's still so much I want to do. There's some great guitar players in this musical field that are just giants, that really come from a jazz place where I don't come from, so I really appreciate their approach to this style of music.
You're still a young guy. You're not going anywhere.
No, I know. I got
You make
time.
it sound like you got 2 weeks left of playing, and then you're packing it up.
Right. Hey, with the economy the way it's going, I do have more time to.
You got a lifetime still ahead of you to learn what you want to learn, man.
Hopefully I do. Yes.
You add a great dynamic to Cliff and the boys. with this project. You're just another tremendous talent on Long Island with what you're about, Dennis. And I really appreciate everything you've done on Long Island with these guys and all the things you've done. I want to jump into the engineering thing. You mentioned earlier that you've become a bit of an engineer.
Yes.
A studio in your house type of thing?
Yeah, recording studio.
When did you start into that field?
I guess it was like 21, 22. A friend had an 8-track, and we started recording, and I just enjoyed it so much. It was the first time I'd done original music, and just the recording. I just loved the whole process and the outcome, especially.
Compressing and fine-tuning. And
yeah, learning about that.
You enjoyed that whole end of it.
Yeah, but mainly it was the end result. Once you recorded a song that came from nowhere, you know, it was something you could really, really be
take
proud
that raw
be
sound
proud of.
and turn it into a professionally sellable product.
As good as we could at the time. You know, we started with drum machines and, you know, all kinds of things that were popular at the time, but, you know, we eventually figured it out.
Some of the CDs that are out with Lil Cliff and the Cliffhangers, are they done in your studio?
Yes.
They were produced by you?
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. Yep. Cliff, I haven't had a new CD in a while, by the way.
We are, in fact, this is no jive. We just got the notice that the final what do you call it, pressing or production finish of our CD, our new CD called The Lovin' Kind, will be out probably in about 2 weeks. So we're gonna figure out where we're gonna have a little release party, and we're gonna really distribute it out in a sort of an intelligent way, and hopefully. We can get some XM airplay and some play on your stations.
Absolutely.
And you know, we'd look to see that maybe we can break out and start doing a little more national work.
God Bless Women, a song, a big song of yours, your big single for you guys, very popular tune on Long Island. When you guys did it on the stage with me about 4.5, 5 years ago, I still get requests for that version, and I play it here, and it's Stony Brook. And
we actually remained on the national Roots and Blues charts with that song for about 8 weeks. Which is a big thing.
It's the big signature
in this market.
It's the big signature tune for you boys, and I think you boys are going to pull that out.
Plus,
a little
if the fellas sing along with that tune at the end, they generally do very well towards the end of their evening or the following morning, depending on how old they are.
Rumor has it, huh?
You get that big black and white cookie at the end of the night. You know.
I'm gonna write that down and remember that for future reference. Next time I see my wife and she's in a bad mood, I'm gonna play that song. Let's do it again. Let's keep you boys moving while we still have time on the clock and take advantage. And
we're gonna bring it down with a slow ballad, a nice soft song that Ricky wrote just recently.
What's the piece called?
It's called "Broken Hearted World."
You boys good to go? Well, once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we need to keep things moving with this week's featured artist, otherwise known as Lil Cliff and the Cliffhangers.
1, 2, 3.
It's a broken-hearted world, and the people living in it know this broken-hearted world don't have a New York minute for sympathy, charity, empathy, clarity. No, not this broken-hearted world. Where do you go? What can be found? What's left to know when she's not around? She's gone now, move on now. No love, no state of grace. That's how you know now that nothing could replace you, girl. It's a broken-hearted world, and the people living in it know this broken-hearted world don't have a New York minute for sympathy, charity, empathy, clarity. No, not this broken hearted world. Too late for me now. But I knew it somehow. For sympathy, charity, empathy, clarity. No, not this broken hearted world. I had love too, with no resolve. I never knew I wasn't involved. She's gone now, move on now. So now I'm down and out. That's how you know now that nothing could replace you, girl. It's a broken-hearted world, and the people living in it know this broken-hearted world don't have a New York minute for sympathy, charity, empathy, clarity. No, not this broken-hearted world for sympathy, charity, empathy, clarity. No, not this broken-hearted world.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, Lil Cliff and the CLIFFHANGERS. Nicely done as always, Cliff. Bringing it way down, as you mentioned. Nice little change of direction. I want to talk to Frank Patterson on the drum kit, who's got the mic all set up, ready to go. How you doing, Frank Patterson?
How are you?
It's good to see you again, my man. Good to see you again.
Great to be here.
You are an original member of this project?
Yes, I am.
You were the first guy. You started off with these boys some 19+ years ago.
Actually, with Ricky, about close to 25 years.
You were working with Ricky before the Lil Cliff
Oh,
thing?
yeah. That band Tang Sedang.
Yeah,
I was the drummer.
Tang Sedang.
Yeah.
I almost pronounced it right, too.
You did.
Tang Sedang.
Can you say it backwards?
All right. We'll work on that later. We'll work on that later. Let's talk about the history with you, Frank. Let's talk about when you began with the kit. Did you start young yourself?
Well, I didn't start with the drum set, actually. I started playing in drum and bugle corps when I was a kid. I'm from Sayville. And
you were, my wife is, right now, my wife is watching this, cringing what I'm about to say, because about 3 or 4 years ago, for 15 years, my wife played the soprano bugle.
Oh, really?
With the West Sayville Fire Department Drum and Bugle Corps.
I played with them.
The Golden
also.
Eagles.
I played with them also.
You know the drum major, Tom something or other? What's the guy I'm talking about?
No, when I was there, it was a...
He's been with them for like 30+ years.
Oh, no, it was a girl named Anna that was directing when I was...
Small world, man. Small world. I can't believe you and I didn't talk about this before.
Oh, yeah.
But my wife hates it when I bring this stuff up, but especially with the West Sayville boys and girls, so how could I not?
Well, actually, I started off with the Sayville Blue Jays, is the name of the corps that I played with. I played with West Sayville about maybe 10 years ago.
Is that right?
Did a little thing with them, yeah.
What a small world.
Yeah.
Well,
broken heart.
my wife's hitting me right now at home watching this as we talk about it because she hates when I bring it up. But how could I not? Very cool, man. Very cool. Let's talk about when you first decided the kit was something you were going to do. When did you decide you were going to play the drums?
Well, yeah, I did drum and bugle corps for about 6 years, and my drum teacher started teaching me drum set then, and in his cellar every Sunday morning. Very, very fine teacher, a guy named Ralph Parkell. He's from Sayville, and he was taught by a guy named Henry Adler, who's Buddy Rich's drum teacher, and very, very fine teacher. And around 1979, I went into the Air Force Band. I played with them for about 5 years, 5.5 years, and I toured all over Europe with a big band. The big band had a very large Count Basie book in it, you know, and I love Count Basie music. That was excellent. And I was all over Europe doing that. So.
You did the Europe thing.
Yeah.
How long did you do the Europe thing?
About 3 years.
All right.
And I did close to 3 years on this stateside. We were all over the Caribbean, Central America, South America, this country, you know.
Very cool, Frank.
Yeah,
very
it was
cool,
very
man.
cool. And after I got out, I did the wedding band scene for a while, and I met Ricky. We met off the Village Voice, and we started playing in that band that we were talking about, and
Say the name of the band again.
Tang Sadang.
Tang Sadang. Good to know. All right, all right.
Actually, that's like a cymbal ride.
That's what Tang Sadang means?
Yeah.
That's where that comes from. So you were the one that named the band.
You're in part of the inside info now.
I'm on the inside.
We're gonna have to kill you after.
I'm always on the outside looking in. It's nice for a change. Very cool. I appreciate the info on that.
Yeah, so we played together for about a good 4 years with that band, and then we started with the Lil Cliff thing.
And there's been no looking back.
Well, no looking back. I've been playing a lot. I'm very blessed to be able to play as much as I have and as much as I will the rest of my life. So, very
well,
good.
you make a great addition to this project, and anything you touch, I imagine. I wish I could have seen you when my wife was in the West Sayville Fire Department Corps, because that would have been cool too. I'll tell you what, real fast, a couple of years ago, doing the parade out in Montauk.
Oh, the St. Patrick's Day parade.
It wasn't judged. It was a non-judging parade. They were short a few players.
And you played.
They asked me to hold the bugle. Just march and hold the bugle. Follow everybody's left leg, left, right, left, right. When I got there, they needed me to actually play the bass drum.
Oh.
Boom, 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 boom. And to try and do this and march at the same time when you've never done it before, certainly not as easy. Anyway, I walked out of there with a really bad shoulder. I couldn't lift the arm up for like a week. My hands were so sweaty, sticks flew out of my hands a few times.
It's not
like
as
the
easy.
guy at the end of the one-way street in Animal House.
It's like a 3 mile. It's like a 3 mile walk when all the others are only a mile and change.
Just put some bunny rabbits on it.
I only did it the one time. I'm never doing it.
I'm
never doing it again. I'm never doing it again. But cute story. I thought you'd appreciate that. Right. Great to have you on board, man. Great to see you again. Frank Patterson on the drum kit. We thank you so much. Big Cliff. It used to be Little Cliff. It still is Little Cliff.
It's been big for a while.
It still is Little Cliff and the CLIFFHANGERS. We love what you guys do. We love what you're about. We got time for a couple of more. I say we get into another one. We'll do our goodbyes, and then you boys will play us out. What are we doing next, gentlemen?
God Bless Women, our anthem.
The signature piece we talked about earlier.
We're going to do the title track of our last CD here and put it out to all the fellas so they remember later on to have appreciation for their other half.
That's right.
Their better half.
Which side? The bread is buttered on.
That's
Mark.
right.
I hear what you're saying, my man.
And then if we can squeeze it in, we're going to do something from the jungle.
Sounds like a plan. Once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we need to keep things moving with Little Cliff and the CLIFFHANGERS.
1, 2, 3.
Well, God bless women. They got the things I like. God bless women. Well, nothing that they do would strike me. as inconsequential. To me, it's all essential. God bless women. What God bless women. For girls, I'm never bored. God bless women. Let me raise my voice in grateful song. I am defenseless. I love them till I'm senseless. God bless women. Well, I love how they do what they do when they're doing it to me. I love how they do what they do when it's wild and carefree. God bless women, for them I do rejoice. God bless women, nothing that they do would strike me as inconsequential. To me, it's all essential. God bless women. For them I do rejoice. God bless women. Let me raise my voice in grateful song. I am defenseless. I love them till I'm senseless. God bless women in the summertime. God bless women. You know I like that one. God bless women.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, Lil Cliff and the CLIFFHANGERS. The big signature piece, Cliff.
I thank you.
That's a great piece, and it always has been, and it always will be. And
we always have fun with that song.
And we always have fun checking it out, viewing that tune, and watching you do your thing, man. Let's talk about the website real quick. Let's plug the website so people can...
The website is Lil Cliff. That's LILCLIFF. LilCliff.com. Lil Cliff.
Now that people have grabbed a pen to write it down because you said it so fast.
You got to roll it in the back of your voice. LilCliff.com. LILCliff.com.
Some upcoming shows that we can be on the lookout for you.
We're going to be participating in a festival coming up this weekend. This show will probably air after that, the Barrier Beach Festival in Long Beach. But the following weekend, which will be the weekend right after this show airs, Friday night, what was that, July 8th, we will be at Nick's Tuscan Barbecue Grill.
What town?
In Long Beach.
Okay.
Nick's Tuscan Restaurant. And it's a new venue for us. We got about 20 dates there coming up over the summer and into the fall.
Nice.
And then the following night, we'll be over at Skipper's in Northport. We've been playing at Skipper's for 20 years. It's right on the wharf.
Great room.
In downtown Northport, right across from the homemade ice cream parlor, which I have no knowledge of.
So you've never eaten there before?
I rarely go there.
Great plug for those people. Thank you.
But we love Northport. We got a lot of good friends there. It's a great little venue and a nice hometown kind of feel.
It sure is. Great town. Big time. We need to thank Dennis Phelps over here on the guitar. Dennis, thank you so much. Back there on the drum kit, we got to thank Mr. Frank Patterson. Yeah. Frank, thank you, sir. We need to thank on the stand-up bass, Mr. Ricky Street. Thank you so much, Rick. And last but certainly not least, we need to thank Little Cliff, Cliff Bernard, vocals and harp. Cliff, thank you so much, sir.
Thanks again for having us. Good luck with the summer, everybody, and be well. And we love you, Mark. Thank you.
We always love what you're about. We love getting you in here as often as we can. It's not often enough.
Well, every decade or so we pop through.
Let's try and do it a little
Maybe
sooner.
a little sooner next time.
Maybe half a decade?
We'd like to finish with a little song that has a zoo theme. And everybody here, if you can make some jungle noises.
Please say goodbye to this week's featured artist, Lil Cliff.
All right, here we go. Well, I got a job down at the zoo, cleaning out the cages. Never cared much for the zoo, just meant steady wages. Well, just last week, a lion ate the doctor veterinary. Now we got a lady that she is quite extraordinary. She said, spank that monkey hard, do it twice a day. Spank that monkey hard. Each one has its favorite way. It always bears repeating when your monkey you are beating. Spank that monkey, spank that monkey, spank that monkey hard. Down here at the zoo, the monkeys are contentious. We don't need a doctor who's too stuck up or pretentious. Smiling, she said commonly, the staff just lacks the knowledge. But I would bet the lady vet did not learn this in college. She said, spank that monkey hard, do it twice a day. Spank that monkey hard, each one has its favorite way. It always bears repeating when your monkey you are beating. Spank that monkey, spank that monkey, spank that monkey hard. Frank here on the drum. Patterson on the drums. We love you, everybody. Well, now my job down at the zoo has turned up quite outrageous. Since she showed me what to do, the spanking is contagious. Happily, the monkeys freely line up to be treated. They old young, they love to gets them beaten. She said, spank that monkey hard, do it twice a day. Spank that monkey hard, each one has its favorite way. It always bears repeating, when you're funky, you are beating.